Flow 94.9 brings you something big and new. Let's give you that action effect, which is also part of our complete outside broadcast services for all your event coverage, both recorded and live. Juicy offers await you as you do business with us.
Let's go.
So what do you have? Is it a wedding, cultural event, birthday, conference, seminar, or showbiz? Whatever it is, we are always ready and set to give you what you need. We also run visual advert for your company, products, and services. And we air not just on radio, but also on our online TV. For more information and booking, you can visit Flow 94.9 FM located at 7B Factory Road, Umuahia, or visit our marketing office at Bank of Industry Building, number 1 Constitution Crescent, Asa Road, Aba, Abia State. Or call our marketing team on 0703 160 8029 or 0805 174 5686. Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state.
Radio.
The administration of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu is anchored on 5 key pillars of development, namely agriculture, commerce, industry, oil and gas, as well as education. How has the administration fared under these core areas so far? Join us on The Impact as we undertake a sectorial review of the administration ahead of May 29th. It's stock-taking, incisive, and agenda-setting for a prosperous Abia State. Weekdays at 10 a.m., excluding Thursdays. The Impact, the beginning of an ending.
Give with us and God helping us. Abia will indeed become a prosperous land.
It's Monday, the 20th day in the month of May 2019, and we're just 8 days away to the inauguration of the elected government officials on May 29th.
Oh yes, sir, and then we are continuing our trail on the programs and policies of the Governor Okezie Ikpeazu-led administration, the first term that is almost winding up.
And of course, this is Impact, an agenda-setting program designed by Flow 94.9 FM to track some of the policies, the promises, and of course the programs of the government as we look ahead of the new administration of Abia State.
Exactly, and among the cardinal pillars of development as enunciated by the present administration in Abia State is job creation and youth development. Exactly, that's our focus this morning on the Impact. Beyond the promises, we want to find out how many jobs have been created so far. What are the opportunities? And this is what we'll be looking at. Our guest this morning are the immediate past Commissioner for Youth Development, Danny Ubani in Abia State.
Good morning, presenters. Good morning, Abians.
And of course, Abia State Empower Social Investment Focal Person, Chinenye Onwogo. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Abians.
Welcome back to Flow 94.9 FM's studio. Well, if you've been following this program, The Impact, we started with the commerce. Of course, we looked at the commerce. We had the immediate past commissioner for Ministry of Social SMEs, rather. And of course, we've looked at the health sector, and we've looked at the education sector. So today it's about job, employment opportunity. What has happened so far? I think we should begin with the immediate past commissioner, Samson.
Exactly, and we want to find out beyond what you've done. Tell us what the government, the target that the administration of Okezie Ikpeazu has set for himself from the beginning in 2015. What's the policy thrust like?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Presenter. It has been a healthy, though strenuous journey this past 4 years. This is a government that mounted the saddle with a clear focus on what to achieve. Ab initio, the governor did not prevaricate in making known his determination and avowal to make Abia the economic hub of Southeast. And this he has sustained by reviving the productive prowess and capabilities of the average Abian or the Aba industrialist. Today, the Made in Aba product is not just a sing-song, but an economic and historical reality. And you see also the government diversifying the economy from being a monocultural one to such areas, I mean, taking it from oil and gas to such areas like industry and agriculture. And you know, in the developed world, the agriculture sector is the highest employer of labor. And that is what the government has tried to do here in Abia. Our tailors, our artisans, our craftsmen, their products are now bearing the imprint and the insignia of Made in Aba, which is now trending globally.
Okay. Let's get to you, Chinenye. You're more of a technical person. What was the job situation, the employment situation in Abia State when Governor Okezie Ikpeazu assumed office in 2015?
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Like the Honorable Commissioner rightly said, when the governor came, he had a template of action to implement visible and measurable projects. Especially when we came in, we saw that the unemployment rate was very high. It's not just about Abia, it was a national and international issue. We had over 25% unemployment rate among the young population.
Over 25%.
Over 25%. Okay. And we found that there are issues that accounted for that. We did a survey. We got one of the best consultants in the area, and we initiated a program known as Education for Employment, because we found out that part of the challenge for unemployment, apart from the non-availability of jobs, is also that even when we have we plan to create a private sector-led economy, even when the private sector investments start coming, we don't have the requisite manpower to fit into those jobs. So we started reskilling and retooling our young people. Today we have a multidisciplinary skill center. You know, we intend to do that in all the 3 senatorial zones. We have one at the Abia South. It's functional. It's even attracted international support. We got Chinese government building an ICT center there, and so because of that survey, we were able to find the skill areas, skill interests, and the skill gaps that exist within our space. And like the commissioner said, what we intended to do was to move away from the monocultural economic thing to diversify the entire space. Because again, there's this reorientation we try to do. Sometimes you know that everybody wants a white-collar job. People want to work with government. But any economy where government is the highest employer of labor, that economy cannot grow. So we intended to run in a robust private sector-led economy. So we increase opportunities for private sector players to come on board. That is why we invested heavily time and resources on the ease of doing business in the indices. And today, of course, you are aware, Abia was among the 5 states rated by World Bank that has improved dramatically on ease of doing business. So we are creating the enabling environment for private sector operators to play, because they are actually the ones that create the high volume number of jobs that you need to take so many people off the street. So with that was kind of template we set up. Again, we also looked at areas of direct employment. It was important the survey also revealed a lot of gaps within the MDAs. And there are also, the needs assessment also revealed that there are even areas government hasn't created agencies to take care of. For example, we noticed the traffic situation in Aba and Umuahia was terrific. We noticed the indiscriminate location of signboards, signages, and all that. We also noticed that public utilities are not properly managed. So government created Abia State Traffic in and Indiscipline Management Agency, Abia State Signage Agency, and Abia State Public Utilities Management Agency. All these agencies started, although of course I also want to say clearly that they didn't add burden to state resources, because they run, they are self-sustaining. They run on tax on default. And so all these agencies, between these three agencies, we had over 1,000 young people newly recruited into the state public service. And we also looked at the local government service. For many years, there were ban on employment, and even in the civil service. And so those gaps that existed within those cadres, where recruitment hasn't happened for over 10 years, were also filled up. So in that also you had thousands of young people who gained employment. But the most successful
has been able to focus on for the last 4 years, before the advent of this government, as my dear brother and friend Chinenye, the focal point, has rightly said, there was misplaced emphasis on assessing white-collar job. Everybody was placing premium on getting enlisted or recruited by the government, without knowing that the engine room of every thriving economy is the private sector, where you create sustainable, where you don't only become the boss to yourself, but you create sustainable employment for others. This the government through the ministry has been able to do over the 4 years, making people to diversify their worldview from white-collar jobs to being creative and enhancing their managerial acumen and all that. This we've been able to do. Now, the government has been able to initiate and enunciate some policies and programs that have really impacted in the individual capacity building of the average Abia youth. How do I mean? Before I came on board as the Commissioner for Youth Development sometime in February this year, the subsequent, my predecessor initiated a program. It was a tripartite arrangement or agreement between the state government, FCMB and CBN, which involves a whopping sum of ₦1 billion for youth empowerment in the area of agriculture, skill acquisition, and all that. They were dotting the I's and crossing the T's the time he was changed. So when I mounted the saddle, I continued from where he stopped. And as we speak now, if not for the usual distractions occasioned by political campaign and electioneering period, that would have been concluded. But I think whoever is taking over from me after May 29th is going to hit the ground running with this program. Now, we've been able to also attract the media giants globally, Google, to invest hundreds of thousands into in the area of capacity building by training 300 Abia youths. The program should be launched anytime this week at no expense to the state government. This
300
Abia youths. Yes.
Where will that take place?
The program will be launched anytime this week. If you are following the ministry's information platform on the various social media platforms, you see a whole lot of Abia youths have really registered. Before I left, more than 3,700 people have indicated interest to be so trained, and the center is going to be in Umuahia, Agui Ironsi International Conference Center, and IG Hub Complex in Aba.
So what exactly would they be trained on?
They are going to be trained on netpreneurship, that is digital marketing. They are going to be trained on software development and programming. They are going to be trained on website development and such other packages that are relevant in the present day information media.
So who are the people that are taking part in this training? How did you get the participants?
Abians from across the divide, youths, from the edges of 18, from the edges of 16 to 35. Yeah.
Okay. Let's come to you again, Chinenye Nwogu. You've been so much involved in the social investment scheme of the federal government. So far, how has that scheme helped the teeming unemployed youths in Abia State?
Empower, to be precise.
For Empower, we have close to 20,000 youths engaged. They earn 30,000 naira every month, in addition to the trainings that they receive online, so that at the exit of the program, they will become self-employed, because they're choosing some skill sets they need to train on, and they work on it post the program. So practical skill.
When you fix Aba, for instance, you have fixed the entire Igbo land, the entire southeast, because there is no family in Igbo land of 5 that doesn't have a representative in Aba. Now, when we talk about Aba, we are employing what you may call synodic or metonymy, using a part to represent a whole. We are not just laying peculiar emphasis on Aba. Aba has come, take it or leave it, from economic perspective, an image that throws up the true reflection and composition of Abia State. So to answer you directly, when we talk about Aba, we are talking about the generality of Abia as a geopolity.
Okay, Danny, I'll come back to you because we will need to find out the disposition of our youth towards the diversification that you are preaching. But before then, Honorable Chinenye Nwogu, back to you now. You painted the picture of what unemployment was in 2015. Now, you've been there for almost 4 years. Do we have a figure now? What is it like?
Well, we need to get to the Bureau of Statistics to be able to give you figures, but we've created opportunities for many, many people in the hundreds of thousands. As I'd explained earlier, some of all these sectors, a lot of activities were going on. In the agri sector, even when we did the Tenara seedling revolution, we had over 8,000 young people working in that farm. We've done mushroom farming. We've trained several people. We've done several programs, and like the commissioner said, whilst we use Aba as a template for the things we are doing, there are skill centers scattered across the state where the Office of Wife of Governor, for example, had trained several young girls in all kinds of skills within the female space, and these skill centers are across the 17 local government area of the state.
Apart from the training, are they empowered?
Yes, once they complete the training, they get empowerment. We did a partnership with CBN where we have the Southeast Entrepreneurship Development Center here. We've trained 3,000 entrepreneurs, and the governor released initial sum of 100 million as seed funding for them to start their business. As we speak now, that program is still ongoing. They are assessing the 100 million inject into their businesses, and is thriving. And most testimonials coming out from that area has shown that that's a very successful program.
Most of the federal government projects that you anchor or schemes that you anchor are basically interventionist programs. That means it is built to end at a particular point. Do you have a program locally to sustain or stretch the capacities of those who
the mistake we make is every government wants to run a particular program. Exactly. If you had listened to the commissioner well, the governor we have in Abia is very grounded in his thinking. He's a very smart and very intelligent person. We don't want to be bounded by just setting up a program. We're creating a generational change, a paradigm shift from the usual to something that is more sustainable. So if we go and set up a particular program, maybe an intervention program that is locally and timed, that will also phase out when another government comes. But we're creating an economy that no government, nobody, no leadership can change. For example, what we are doing with the Made in Aba has created a large space for operators within that ecosystem. So, for example, those who are going to do digital marketing are not going to be time bound. Some of them will do this thing for the rest of their life. You understand? Those who are we took 30 youths to China to train them. The shoe factory will be commissioned within the first 100 days of this new administration. We just took a visit to the factory. It's almost completed. The Chinese are coming here.
And the installation of the machine.
The Chinese are coming here anytime from now to install those machines. All the machines for the full production line has already been delivered in Aba. Those who will work in that factory can end their life at that place, because it's going to be very sustainable. We have the Libra shoe factory that is coming up somewhere in Okwa. Those are well sustainable programs. Now, what we want to do is not to create a program that will be tagged OKZ. Now, for us, maybe because of our time, let me just delve into that. The most robust job creation platform we are creating in Abia is the Enyimba Economic City. Enyimba Economic City promises over 700,000 jobs within the next 5 years.
Direct jobs.
Direct jobs.
Over what again?
700,000 direct jobs.
Direct jobs?
Yes, in the next 5 years. And over 3 million ancillary jobs in terms of services within that entire space. Enyimba Economic City has been reputed by global institutions, International Finance Corporation, African Financial Corporation, and the World Bank as the most ambitious and audacious development project going on in Nigeria today. Even the federal government, represented by the president, has described the project as the smartest conceived and midwife project by any state government in Nigeria today. You understand? Now, what will happen is, once groundbreaking happens, which is going to happen very soon, that entire 9,400 and something hectares of land will be turned to a construction site, and all kinds of activities will be going on. We already have over 10 international brands as anchor tenants who have already signed on to set up factories in the space. So that, for us, represents the future that we're building for investment, for industry,
so these are the things
for job
we should
creation.
Be expecting in the coming in the second administration.
Yes, for job creation in Abia. Okay. You understand? So for us, we don't want to limit ourselves to creating programs, pockets of programs that do not have any sustainability measures. We want to create an economy, a system that runs on an autopilot system that will continue to expand on itself and continue to engage many more people, as it continues to grow.
All right, it is still the impact right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state, the agenda setting program. We're looking at the administration of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, the first term in office. Of course, he has been declared the winner of the election, and of course, he will be sworn in 8 days. Yes, of course, on the 29th of May 2019. And this morning, we're looking at youth development, employment. Of course, we have the immediate past commissioner for youth development, Danny Ubani, and the Abia State Empower Social Investment focal person, Chinenye Nwogu, in the studio. If you have questions, you have contribution, the phone lines are open: 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949. You can also drop your messages on the SMS line 0906 510 8289. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mike and something. You were questionable on the line.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Honorable Chinenye, good morning. My Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning,
sir.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I really want to commend you on the things you've been able to narrate to Abians on how the Ministry of Youth and Sports has been able to affect the youth. I so much appreciate that. Giving an instance, this 30,000 naira that the Empower program, I have a very whole lot of my neighbors who are into it, and it has given them succor ever since they started it. I know that many people will say most of those programs are just for their own family members and others, and I'm standing to say no, because I know a very whole lot of people that have gotten a very whole lot about from
in every aspect of a computerized economy. That's a good thing. Thank you very much, and thank you, the Governor of Abia State, for coming up with the idea.